Sisters United. You are joined by Player 1
and Player 2.
And welcome back to our Dragon Age series, where in the last episode we had saved Connor and his mum.
Yes.
And we recruited Severin.
Yes.
So we're just going to find out some more about
this should be
Severin.
good. Go ahead.
Okay. Why did you want to leave the crows exactly?
Oh, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
You didn't choose to join the crows?
To be truthful, I didn't even know the crows existed when I joined them. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
That sounds awful.
Oh, I don't know about that. The crows who are actually good enough to survive come to enjoy some of the benefits. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. Gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
I see. So what is it you fancy exactly?
I fancy many things. I fancy things that are beautiful, and things that are strong. I fancy things that are dangerous and exciting. Would you be offended if I said I fancied you?
No, but you needn't bother. I'm with Alice.
That's too bad. I do so enjoy it when I get to be flirty. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
Yes. Won't the crows eventually find you? Is that a problem?
Eventually can be a very, very long time if one plays one's cards right. Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Tell me a little about Antivia.
Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you?
Yeah.
The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes.
Ah! Don't you want to go back?
It's not really a matter of wanting to go back. I cannot go. At least not yet. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable?
I was born in Heroism, in the north.
Oh, I have never seen that place. I am sure it has its charms, and its dogs.
Yes, it does.
Like a bull. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
The leather? No, that's odd. This I have to hear, though.
I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else.
Ah. You sound like you've been away from home forever.
Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather. Perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
Your home's still there, Seven.
True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a beautiful Grey Warden, a woman who then spares my life? I could not.
Now you're flattering me.
I say you are beautiful because it is true. Should I not?
No, by all means, I don't mind being
I'm
complimented.
glad I am to hear it. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
Okay. Alistair, don't worry, you're still best boy. You're good boy.
You are not quite as callow as I thought. That is unexpected.
Calla? You thought I was Calla?
You sound surprised. You must have heard this before. You'll get over it. Eventually.
What does it mean? So will you tell me now why you were caged?
I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware.
What do you mean by a weak mind?
That is complicated. I told you before that I was sent here. I was not sent alone. I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell.
What happened to the other Canary?
I am told no others survived. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand.
You probably dropped it on the battlefield.
Perhaps. I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it.
And then?
I killed them. With my bare hands. I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down.
It's only an object, Stan. You can get another sword.
Do your people have no souls as we know them? Convenient for you. That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath.
Couldn't you search for it?
If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now.
Where did you find the Darkspawn?
Near Lake Calenhad.
Don't worry, we'll find it.
Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
We're friends enough, we stand to get that quest. So we've got Morrigan's, we did Alistair's, I think. We've not got Zevran's. 1. Shale's. We'll check Lily.
Have I ever told you I really like the way you wear your hair?
My hair? Thank you!
It's very nice and it suits you. Simple. Not like the elaborate hairstyles we wore in Orlais. They involved flowers, ribbons, jewels. 1 year, feathers were all the rage, and Lady Elise decided she needed to outdo everyone else, and actually wore live songbirds in her voluminous hair. The chirping was quite charming for a while, but you must realize, terrified little birdies often have loose bowels.
Oh, do you make?
Yes, you can imagine what she looked like by the end of the evening. But I was trying to say something nice to you, wasn't I? Oh, forgive me. My mind wanders so. It's just that I feel so comfortable talking to you. Like I could say anything and you wouldn't judge me.
Well, we are friends, aren't we?
Yes, very much so. I haven't felt this close to anyone in a long time. I really enjoy your company.
You are a treasured friend, Liliana.
Thank you. I am honored that you feel that way.
I see it found some augmentation crystals. I was not even aware it knew about them. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is.
I think they're so pretty.
They are, aren't they? I so adore them. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear,
Quite right.
so to speak.
Yes. Quite right.
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them.
That's super sexual.
Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings?
My father was the Terran of Heroism.
Oh, then that must be it. I knew there had to be some reason, it being a human and all. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless.
And we wouldn't want that, Shale.
Indeed. Can it imagine the horror? Oh. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
We can do this companion quests, or we can go to
Companions.
We've got to go get Sten's book. Not Sten, we've got to get Sten's sword and Lily and Morrigan's book.
Back off! I was here first!
You haven't seen a sword lying around here, have you?
Why, you looking to buy one?
No, but my very large angry friend here is.
Oh, is he? Well, that's... see, I'd like to sell you one, but I don't, have any myself. I got part of a glove the wolves didn't chew too badly, though. I think it was a glove, anyway. I know, don't say it, I got cheated. I knew the guy who was here before me. He sold me this spot. Said he found giants and all kind of crazy valuables. He didn't mention that he'd taken everything but the bones and the dirt already. His name's Ferelden. Squirrely little bastard, if you ask me. Which you didn't, but I said it anyway.
Where is he now?
He was going to Orzammar, he said. I imagine he's gotten there by now. If you find him, tell him I sent you. It'll scare the piss out of him.
Your outfit.
And so you return. Lovely Morrigan has at last found someone willing to dance to her
My
tune.
mod.
Such enchanting music she plays, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I have come to talk, nothing more.
Oh, how interesting. Speak then. You have come far, and I am nothing if not hospitable.
Morrigan? Well, is it true you intend to take Morrigan's body?
Oh, I do like that. Ah, but it is an old, old story. One that Flemeth has heard before, and even told. Let us skip right to the ending, shall we? Do you slay the old wretch as Morrigan bids, or does the tale take a different turn?
I just want the truth.
The truth, she says, as if it were nothing. No, no. Far better the lie. Far better the comfort of blankets and shadows and a mother's love. Morrigan wishes my grimoire? Take it as a trophy. Tell her I am slain.
I could do that. And what? You think she will believe that? And what happens to you, actually? What happens to you?
I go. Perhaps I surprise Morrigan one day. Or I may simply watch. It would be interesting to see what she does with her freedom. Enlightening, even. Would you give an old woman that?
You think she'll believe that?
We believe what we want to believe. It's all we ever do.
I could do that.
It's far easier this way,
Yes,
don't you think?
Yes, it is. Yes.
The lies are
I don't want to
always
fight
more
you.
fun.
A tangled web you weave, Warden. I hope it's for good cause.
The book is inside the hut, with notes and spells enough to make even Morrigan blush with delight. You and I will not meet again. That I guarantee.
I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier.
You mean? Yes, you had me quite worried.
You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. Remember my apprentice, Petra? She encountered a demon in the tower. It would have killed her had I not intervened. I saved her life that day, but I did not survive that encounter with the demon.
But you're standing right here.
Let me explain fully. I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child, eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor.
That's an amazing story.
The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time.
Then we'll make the best of that time.
Yes, that we will.
Mother's real grimoire, is it? I am glad you were able to find it after all. My thanks for retrieving it. I shall begin studying it immediately and unlock the power that it holds. I await your command. At times, perhaps, a world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
Oh. That sounds wonderful.
For a time, but one can only remain a child for so long. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
I can't imagine what happened then.
Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
Oh. But you were just a child.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
But you don't need to live that way any longer.
Do I not?
Look at
I
your
am
pretty
still an
mirror.
apostate mage, even if I have left the wilds. The Darkspawn are yet undefeated. No, there is much that remains. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
We don't have it here! I'm going to die! Somebody help me! I'm stuck! And son, get up! Where are you? There you are. Don't die!
Get you a ladder.
Are you okay?
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
None more important than mine.
Your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
I have urgent need to talk to your king.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Grey Wardens need their traditional dwarven allies.
The Wardens killed King Kaelin and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
Excuse me.
Run to your false king!
You'll hear of this. King Loghain will see you quartered.
Goodbye.
You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
Thank you.
A trust follow, Warden. You're right. Fair journeys, Warden.
For the love of...
If only you had come at a less troubled time.
Okay.
Show respect, Surfacer. You're in the Hall of Heroes, home to the best of us.
The figures are quite grand indeed.
Paragons, dwarves who achieve such greatness, they're considered ancestors, even if they yet walk among us. If only we had one now. A unifier. A voice like that, there would be no dissension.
Perhaps I can help.
Perhaps I don't want you to. A Surfacer should not see us in this kind of disarray. Goodbye, Warden. I hope you're not needed.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
You will not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Oh, that just happened.
I'll have him in the Legion.
Hello there!
Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order.
Can a city function like this?
See, that's why I don't want you Surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry.
Harrowmont and Blight are the ones I need.
They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate. Surfacers appoint no paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter.
Okay. I should get going.
Yes, you should.
Did you see that? I cannot believe what this city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive.
This plan, is that King Elgin's son?
Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harrowmont as his heir.
What do you know about this Lord Harrowmont?
Lord Harrowmont should be our king. He was King Endrin's closest advisor, the only one he could trust. Endrin himself, ancestors welcome him, asked the Assembly to endorse Harrowmont.
Ah, I see. I see. Why such hate for Blen?
Everybody knows he killed his brother Trian and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died abed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along.
How did Endrin die?
He died in bed after his eldest son was murdered, and the Assembly condemned his second son for it. I cannot blame him for preferring to join the ancestors in eternal peace, if Balin didn't murder him himself.
Did you know King Endrin?
Only as a potential match for one of his sons. He was a good king, stern and fair and just.
Who are you?
I am Narav Helmi, third daughter of the second matron of House Helmi. And you, stranger? What brings you to Orzammar at such a time?
I'm Elissa, Grey Warden, and I'm here seeking aid.
A Grey Warden? That explains why they allowed you past the gates. What kind of aid do you mean?
I have a treaty compelling Orzammar to aid against the Blight.
A Blight? Now? But our warriors are killing each other in the streets. I'm sorry, stranger. I fear there will be no aid for you in Orzammar. If you seek Lord Harrowmont's support, I suggest you talk with his trusted advisor, Dulin Ferelden. He might be able to get you an audience.
Okay. Okay.
So basically, we can help both sides, kind of thing, and then choose who we want, or we kind of choose one side. We'll choose one, we'll go with his one. But, I think we would... Yeah.
Excuse me, do you have a moment?
Yes. I'll come back to you, Dagna, later. We're looking for your soul. Oh, that's we'll have to find somebody. So what I will do is I'll go pick up these side quests because Orzammar is quite a big bit. Because his sword's at a merchant bit. I think.
Ancestors guard my son, for he is lost in darkness. I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone.
What were you praying for?
My name is Vilda, widow of Turak of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul.
What happened to him?
It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them.
Did anyone go after him?
The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way.
We shouldn't abandon him. I'll look for him if you want.
How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself.
I'm a Grey Warden. That's what we do.
A warden? So you could do it?
Yes.
Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Don't get your hopes up. We could search the Deep Roads for decades with no sight of the boy.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
Maker's blessing on you, sister.
May his divine spirit always guide you.
It's a great pleasure to meet a fellow believer. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar.
Oh. Don't the dwarves worship the ancestors or something?
There is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. But Orzammar persists in worshipping its paragons and forefathers instead of the Maker.
Let them worship whatever they like. The Kun is the only way to enlightenment.
If that's true, then he will come to it in time.
False philosophies hinder his journey.
This chantry encourages faith in an unknown god instead of understanding oneself.
There was nothing wrong with faith.
Are you saying you will help?
Whose permission do you need to open this chantry?
The Shaper controls changes in Orzamar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting.
Do you want me to talk to him for you?
Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always. Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
You look like you're not from around here.
Yes, you can say that.
Oh, wonderful. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
The Circle of Magi?
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
Why would they?
No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caitlin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them.
So what do you want with the Circle?
I want to go to the Circle to study. I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing.
I can bring the Circle you request.
That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcasts. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child? Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Oh, wow! Wow!
Funny for their kid would be pathetic.
Don't die!
Time to get up, stand!
She wasn't fighting! Get up, stand!
I shall do it.
Get up!
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform.
I'm Elissa, a Grey Warden.
Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity. Especially for someone with a few connections above ground.
I'd have to hear what you're asking.
No offense, but your kings have some laws that don't make sense in a practical kind of world. Like about who gets to buy and sell lyrium, the sacred gift the stone provides us to show her love. No law should regulate that. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower. I got one man named Godwin. He's expecting a delivery of a stone's weight. You want an investment opportunity? I could see fit to, say, sell you that lyrium instead, at the reasonable price of 50 sovereigns. You can keep it, or, since you can travel freely from here, sell it to Godwin, who you know is buying. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee.
So smuggling is illegal, I'm turning you in.
I don't think so. Boys!
Then?
Yes. Look at the guy already.
Yes, he did. Look at him, he's on the rock!
Got it. Now's better
They
than later.
barely breathed on us.
Have you a coin to spare, milady? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I.
Why doesn't your son's father help you?
A question I ask every day. He was eager enough for a daughter who would bring him into the mining caste. But since the boy was born, I've not seen nose or heel of the lout. And me alone on the street, forbidden to return to my family unless I... But no! I can't bear to even think of it!
You seem upset. Is there some way I can help?
I wish there were. My name is Erlinda. I wasn't always like this. I was born to a mining caste family. We weren't wealthy, but I never went hungry before. Now it's all gone, and it's my own fault. Ancestors curse me, but there's nothing I can do to set it right.
What does your family want you to do?
My son's father is casteless, as is he. I used to be a miner, but my parents stripped my caste and refused to accept me back. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him.
That's horrible.
I cannot abandon my baby.
horrible.
The Shapers teach that only children of true lineage exist, not those born casteless. But they never carried a child. He cries like any other infant, and smiles when he's warm and full. I can't kill him because of an accident of birth, an accident I forced on him.
Maybe I can reason with your family.
You would do that? But why?
I don't like to see a child suffer.
Then I cannot offer enough gratitude. But I warn you, my father is a stiff-necked man. His name is Ordell, and he's usually at Tapster's in the evening. I do not think he will listen to you. But I will wait anxiously to see if you can do what you promise.
Well, look at that. It's not often old Nadezda sees a fine-dressed stranger here in Dust Town. Help a poor cripple.
Here's 5 silver. Yes, here's 5 silver.
You're as kind as you are beautiful. I owe you when I get back on my feet. If my feet still worked. It takes a stranger to notice how bad things are, huh? No dwarf would lift a sodding finger. Excuse my language. What takes you out of the diamond quarter, stranger? You got a vice you're looking for old Nadezda to fill?
Where's a body go to get drunk?
If you have that kind of coin, Salroka, you don't want to drink what they've got here. Take yourself up to Tapster's. Long as your face isn't branded, they've got anything you want.
What do you mean by brand?
Means you don't exist. It tells everyone who sees you not to work with you, not to serve you, and not to care if you're hurt. The Deep Lords burn it into us the day we're born, so no one accidentally oversteps her place.
How did you get crippled?
I'd say it was an accident, try to get some sympathy coin, but you look like you'd rather hear the truth. I was running protection for the Carta when some guardsmen caught me. Duster I was with had coin for a bribe, but I took a stand. Guardsmen broke my sodding kneecaps and had me kneel in dung until the infection set in. Never healed proper.
Can they just get away with that?
I don't know where you're from, but in Orzammar, casteless have no lineage, so it's no crime to hurt you. You're born to wear a branded face in Orzammar, and you'll live your life in Dust Town.
I should get going now.
I'll just stay out of your way then.
So that's going to be it for this episode. So if you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. And in the next episode, we will try and finish off some of those quests and try and find Ogren and recruit him. So no, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.